Hello and welcome, and namaste from New Delhi. You're watching DD India. I'm Gautam Roy. And this is Express News, the show where we get you the day's top 100 developments in under 30 minutes. Let's get going. President of Mongolia, Khurel Sukukna, arrived in New Delhi on Monday for an official state visit to India. He was accorded a guard of honor and a ceremonial welcome at the airport. Canadian Foreign Minister Anita Anand called on Prime Minister Narendra Modi in New Delhi on Monday. Prime Minister Modi welcomed the Foreign Minister and conveyed that her visit would contribute to ongoing efforts to impart new momentum to India-Canada bilateral partnership. The Canadian Foreign Minister, who is on a two-day visit to India, also met India's External Affairs Minister Dr. S. Jaishankar. Both the ministers had constructive discussions to restore and reinvigorate the mechanisms necessary to advance India-Canada partnership. They also exchanged views on global developments and on shared challenges. India's External Affairs Ministry's Secretary West, C.B. George, led the Indian delegation at the senior officials meeting of the 19th Non-Aligned Movement Mid-Term Ministerial in Kampala, Uganda. The holy relics of Lord Buddha were formally enshrined in Kalmykia, marking the first ever exposition of these sacred artifacts in the Russian Republic. Head of Republic of Kalmykia, along with his ministers, met the Indian delegation. Both the sides agreed to strengthen bilateral relations. Uttar Pradesh Deputy Chief Minister Keshav Prasad Maurya also visited Buddhist Park in Elista and assured the governor of Kalmykia that India will provide a Buddha statue and contribute providing its construction material as well. Later in the day, the UP Deputy CM inspected the Kalmykia University Museum and praised the struggles undertaken in the journey of development by the people of Kalmykia. Newly appointed US Ambassador to India, Sergio Gore, is on a 6-day visit to India. He held talks with the Commerce Secretary Rajesh Agarwal on India-US economic ties, with the two sides looking at ways to firm up a trade deal. India's Environment Minister Bhupendra Yadav will attend the pre-COP meeting in Brasilia on Monday and Tuesday. The minister will be representing India at the pre-COP 30 organized by the COP 30 presidency of Brazil. The platform will provide an opportunity for countries to build consensus on the issues critical for the success of COP 30. Minister Yadav will hold meaningful discussions and productive conversations. India's Railways Minister Ashwini Vaishnaw participated in the 41st Railway Protection Force Raising Day Parade, which was held at the RPF Zonal Training Centre in Gujarat on Monday. India's largest student innovation movement, Viksit Bharat Buildathon 2025, began on Monday. The initiative aligns with the nation's vision of Viksit Bharat at 2047 or a developed India by 2047, promoting a culture of innovation and self-reliance from the grassroots level. Education Minister Dharmendra Pradhan attended the Mega School Innovation event in New Delhi on Monday and also interacted with students. India's Home Minister Amit Shah inaugurated an exhibition on new criminal laws being held in Jaipur. The exhibition showcases the Indian Penal Code, the Indian Civil Defence Code and the Indian Evidence Act. The Government of India's flagship initiative to improve multimodal infrastructure connectivity, PM Gati Shakti National Master Plan, completes 4 years in Monday. The occasion was marked by the launch of multiple new initiatives that would provide further boost to Gati Shakti. India's Minister of Trade and Commerce, Piyush Goyal, attended an event held in New Delhi. The Indian Army will host the United Nations Troop Contributing Countries as Chiefs Conclave in New Delhi from the 14th to the 16th of this month, bringing together senior military leaders from 32 nations which contribute troops to UN peacekeeping missions. The 4th edition of the joint bilateral military exercise Austria-Hind between India and Australia begins at the Irvine Barracks in Australia's Perth. An Indian Army contingent comprising 120 personnel is participating in the 14-day exercise. Indian equity indices ended on a negative note on Monday. At close, the Nifty was down 58 points at 25,227.35. The Sensex was also down at close by 173.77 points at 82,327.05 points. The Indian rupee also ended flat at 88.67 per dollar on Monday. Gold futures maturing on the 5th of December was priced at 123,758 rupees per 10 grams on the multi-commodity exchange. Silver futures for the 5th of December maturity stood at 152,234 Indian rupees per kg on the MCX. The Reserve Bank of India has amended the Foreign Exchange Management Borrowing and Lending Regulations 2018, allowing Indian banks to extend loans in Indian rupees to entities and individuals in Sri Lanka, Bhutan and Nepal. Brent crude oil rose to $63.68 per barrel on Monday. YouTube has criticized Australia's planned under-16 social media ban as well-intentioned but ineffective. Google also called the move vague and difficult to enforce. Australia plans to revise its proposed tax hike on retirement savings for the wealthiest workers. The original 2023 proposal aimed at doubling the taxes from 15 to 30% on pension balances above 1.96 million Australian dollars. Samsung Electronics anticipates its highest third-quarter profit since 2022 with a 10% year-on-year rise to 10.1 trillion won, driven by strong memory chip prices and demand, boosted by a chip supply deal with Tesla. Hamas handed over 20 Israeli hostages on Monday amid loud cheers at Tel Aviv's Hostages Square. The Foreign Ministry of Israel greeted the release of hostages with "Welcome home." The Israeli hostages were received by the Israeli army on Monday under the first phase of a ceasefire deal with Israel. Freed hostages finally reunited with their family members. US President Donald Trump on Monday addressed the Knesset and thanked mediators from the Arab and Muslim world for helping to reach an agreement. Addressing the Israeli parliament in Jerusalem, Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu said Israel is committed to peace. He added that Israel achieved amazing victories over the Hamas and entire Iran axis. Trump also met with hostage families at the Knesset in Jerusalem. Before addressing the Israeli parliament, Trump also met with Benjamin Netanyahu and the Hamas as Hamas handed over all 20 surviving hostages to Israel. In a post on X, Prime Minister Modi welcomed the release of all hostages after over 2 years of captivity and extended support for President Trump's sincere efforts to bring peace to the region. Egypt is set to host an international peace summit on Monday. Egyptian President Abdel Fattah al-Sisi welcomed world leaders from more than 20 countries participating in the summit to be co-chaired by US President Trump. Following the formation of Prime Minister Sébastien Lecornu's new government in France, French President Emmanuel Macron announced that he will remain in office on Monday. A new government must submit a 2026 draft budget by Tuesday to allow the required 70-day parliamentary review. European Union member countries began rolling out a new entry and exit system on Sunday at the bloc's external borders, electronically registering non-EU nationals' data. The Nobel Prize in Economics has gone to American-Israeli Joel Mokyr, France's Philippe Aghion and Canada's Peter Hewitt for work in technology's impact on sustained economic growth. Opposition leader Patrick Hermini defeated incumbent President Wavel Ramkalawan in Seychelles' runoff election with 52.7% of the vote, returning the United Seychelles Party to full governmental control. Prime Minister Narendra Modi congratulated Patrick Hermini on his victory and expressed confidence that the time-tested and multifaceted relations will deepen and gain further momentum in his tenure. In Madagascar, thousands of protesters gathered in Central Square in Antananarivo on Monday, chanting for President Andry Rajoelina to step down. Rajoelina is set to address the nation later in the day. One person was injured as flames engulfed more than 5,000 square meters in Ukraine's Odessa region after Russian drones struck southern Ukraine. Firefighters continued through the night to contain large blazes, which also destroyed a vehicle. Two trains collided in eastern Slovakia on Monday, derailing an engine and a carriage and injuring at least 20 people. Rescue services sent 2 helicopters and several ambulances to the site, but there were no immediate reports of deaths. A shooting incident in the US left 4 dead and at least 20 injured at a restaurant in a South Carolina island town on Sunday. The incident was being investigated. At the 78th session of the World Health Organization's Regional Committee for Southeast Asia, WHO Director General Dr. Tedros Adhanom Ghebreyesus stressed the importance of healthy aging and reducing tobacco consumption. The International Day for Disaster Risk Reduction is being observed globally on Monday, urging citizens to help build disaster-resilient communities. This year's theme is Fund Resilience, not Disasters. Time now to take a quick break on Express News. Stay tuned for more to DD India. We'll be back in a flash.
There's so many invaluable artifacts that the British have taken from our country. They robbed us of our self-respect. They robbed us of our honor. Loot was never innocent, it was painful.
The word loot, that was stolen from India too.
Welcome back. You're watching Express News on DD India. I'm Gautam Roy. Let's resume. Vellore and surrounding areas in India's southern state of Tamil Nadu received heavy rainfall, causing Palattur Lake to overflow. The excess water flowed into the Kanaru stream, surrounding villages downstream. The Indian Meteorological Department has predicted continued increase in rainfall activity, accompanied by heavy rainfall in Tamil Nadu during the next 7 days. The southern Indian state of Kerala has also received warning of widespread rainfall as the cyclonic circulation over the Arabian Sea is set to intensify weather activity in the region. The IMD has also forecast conditions for further withdrawal of southwestern monsoon from remaining parts of Odisha, Chhattisgarh, Telangana, Maharashtra and northeastern states during the next 2-3 days. Also, according to the Met Department, Delhi NCR will see mostly clear skies until Tuesday. Northern areas experiencing cooler winds with daytime temperatures around 30 to 31 degrees Celsius and night temperatures between 18 to 19 degrees Celsius. The Rohtang Pass in Himachal Pradesh witnessed unexpected snowfall in the high altitude areas, marking an early onset of winter. Tourists and locals were surprised as the region's temperature dipped sharply, turning the mountain slopes white overnight. Floods trapped people in vehicles and homes in Spain on Sunday as torrential rain drenched the northeastern Catalonia region. The National Weather Agency issued a red alert for Tarragona as emergency crews carried out multiple rescues. Residents in eastern Spain cleaned mud from their homes after heavy rains caused flash floods in La Repita on Monday. Cars were overturned, but no casualties were reported. Weather alerts remain in effect. Mexico City recorded its heaviest rainfall in 2025 on Sunday as severe floods swept across several states. At least 47 people have died since Thursday as floods have reached a trail of destruction. Glaciers are melting rapidly worldwide, but Tajikistan's Pamir mountains have remained stable or even grown. Scientists are drilling deep ice cores there to understand this rare and surprising climate trend. For more than 100 sausage dogs from Germany, Austria and Switzerland raced against the clock in Munich at the 3rd International Dachshund Competition. The 2-day event also saw shows on the sidelines such as dog dancing. Thousands gathered in Brazil's Amazon for the Chirio de Nazare, one of the world's largest Catholic pilgrimages honoring Lady of Nazare. Hanoi's first World Culture Festival featured the popular culinary street with chefs from all continents. The festival showcased 45 cultural spaces and 34 international food booths at the Thang Long Imperial Citadel. Despite challenges of being born with an incomplete right hand, Nguyen Thi Ha from Hue City, Vietnam has mastered traditional and 3D hand embroidery using only her left hand. Yusuf Mamsa, a warm-hearted man from northwest China's Xinjiang Uyghur Autonomous Region, has devoted himself to free rescue missions in the uninhabited lands along the Takorgan Yarkand Trail for years, keeping watch over travelers day and night. Giant panda Chinhua celebrates his 5th birthday at the Huayang Mountain Scenic Area in Hanzhong City, northwest China's Shaanxi province. Over 10,000 migratory birds arrived at the Nanji Wetland Reserve in Nanchang City, China, marking a seasonal surge along the East Asian Australasian flyway as authorities ramp up protections for wintering flocks. Hebei's Hengshui Lake in China reached a major conservation milestone by confirming the world's first successful natural breeding of the critically endangered Bear's pochard duck. Hordes of horticulturists are taking part in the Great Big Bulb Dig in Canberra, Australia. The event is held after the Florade Flower Festival each year, giving crowds the chance to take home blooms and bulbs of their own. An 82-year-old astrophysicist is about to represent Australia in the World Masters Powerlifting Championships. He discovered the sport by chance later in life and is now inspiring others to age healthily. India's national capital held the 20th Delhi Half Marathon on Sunday. The route passed through iconic landmarks like India Gate and Major Dhyan Chand Stadium. A large-scale beach cleanup drive was initiated at the Tuticorin port coastline in Tamil Nadu. The initiative is part of efforts to combat plastic pollution, with the port now declared plastic-free. Flamingos arrived early in Rajasthan this year, drawn by improved habitat conditions, highlighting Sambar Lake's growing importance as a key stopover for migratory birds. Jammu and Kashmir hosted history's first international downhill mountain biking event, the Zabrawan Legends Series 2025 in Gulmarg. The event marks a significant milestone for adventure sports in the region. Titanium gates have been installed at Lord Ram Temple in Ayodhya, a first of its kind used in India. Chosen for its strength, lightweight and 1,000-year lifespan, titanium marks a major innovation in temple construction. Now, news from the entertainment world. Hollywood paid tribute to the Oscar-winning actress Diane Keaton, who passed away on Saturday at the age of 79. Co-stars like Robert De Niro and Bette Midler remembered her as a brilliant and original talent. The trailer for final season of Jurassic World Chaos Theory was unveiled in New York Comic Con. The 9-episode season will premiere on the 20th of November. Disney's Tron heiress stumbled at the box office with a $33.5 million domestic debut. Teaser for Bridgerton Season 4 was released on Monday, confirming a 2-part premiere, with Part 1 arriving on the 29th of January next year and the second part on the 26th of February. Pop band Aqua revealed plans for Aqua, the musical stage production, featuring their hits like Barbie Girl alongside their personal story, and is set to premiere in Copenhagen in 2028. Hollywood actor Sean Penn was the guest of honor at the Lumiere Festival's opening night in Lyon, France, where he received a standing ovation from the audience. The 70th Filmfare Awards were held in Gujarat's Ahmedabad, where Kiran Rao's Lapata Ladies won 13 awards, including Best Director and Best Film. Legendary Indian filmmaker Shyam Benegal posthumously received the 70th Filmfare Lifetime Achievement Award. The award commemorates Benegal's vast contribution to Indian cinema. Bollywood film Sunny Sanskari Ki Tulsi Kumari featuring Varun Dhawan saw a 50% box office jump in its second week. The total earnings of the film have crossed 50.25 crore rupees. Actor Rishabh Shetty's folk action thriller Kantara Chapter 1 continues strong box office success, crossing 400 crore Indian rupees. And in sports, India's Sports Minister Dr. Mansukh Mandavia on Monday facilitated India's Paris Olympics medalists in a special ceremony in New Delhi. In cricket, India ended day 4 firmly on top of the Delhi Test, needing just 58 runs in addition for victory to seal the series 2-0. Campbell and Hope's centuries kept West Indies fighting early on day 4, but India's bowlers led by Jadeja, Siraj and Bumrah triggered a late collapse to bowl them out for 390 runs. Defending champions Australia chased down a mammoth 331 runs to beat India by 3 wickets in a pulsating Women's World Cup clash in Vishakhapatnam. Australian skipper Alyssa Healy unleashed a stunning exhibition of stroke play, cracking 142 of 107 balls to lead Australia to a highest successful run chase in the history of women's one-day internationals. New Zealand batter Kane Williamson is set to miss the home 2020 series against England later this month due to injury. Black Caps' T20I spinner Mitchell Santner has returned to the squad after recovering from an abdominal surgery. 14-year-old sensation Vaibhav Suryavanshi has been named Bihar's vice-captain for the first 2 rounds of the India's premier domestic cricket tournament Ranji Trophy season. In football, Mohammad Kudus scored as Ghana beat Comoros 1-0 in Accra to become the 5th African nation to qualify for the 2026 World Cup after Algeria, Egypt, Morocco and Tunisia. This will be the 5th appearance for Ghana in the global showpiece. Their best performance was in 2010 in South Africa, where they lost to Uruguay after a quarterfinals penalty shootout. Inter Miami paid tribute to Jordi Alba on Saturday after their final home match of the regular season, as the defender plans to retire once the season comes to a close. World number 204 Valentin Vachereau on Sunday defeated his cousin Arthur Rinderknecht to claim the Shanghai Masters title. Spain's oldest active chess player Manuel Alvarez celebrated his 104th birthday on Sunday with a special chess tournament in Madrid's neighborhood, drawing over 160 participants to honor his enduring legacy in the game. Indian squash ace Joshna Chinnappa clinched her 11th PSA Tour title, beating Egypt's Haya Ali in 4 games in the Japan Open final in Yokohama on Monday. And last but not the least, Ugandan Jacob Kiplimo won the Chicago Marathon in dominant fashion, breaking the tape in 2 hours, 2 minutes and 23 seconds in the second race over the distance. That's all we have for the moment in this edition of Express News. For all the latest, keep watching DD India.